Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager class Scrapper, the leader, and also I guess the first figure, but on the box anyway, of the Constructicons. Yes indeed, the Constructicons are here, boys! They're finally here. Pieces of the Constructicons anyway, because I only have this idiot and this idiot, which obviously will be used for size comparison, but still, anyway, got them both, and I am very happy with these two, you know, it's Devastator, we're getting there. And also during the open box, I was actually a little bit incorrect about the fact the Bone Crusher was a leg, because this idiot obviously is a leg. However, speaking of which, that is also why this idiot, sadly enough, is a little bit compromised. All of them are, by the way, compromised. But like, he has no waist rotation because he does this. He's got a really powerful ratchet in there in order to do ankle tilts for the giant Devastator. So he can't really, you know, have that waist rotation because it would ruin everything, especially if they put like a mushroom peg back there and just make everything horrible. But overall, he looks nice. Speaking of which, let's pull him in closer. And also, by the way, between the two of them, I like this guy more than Bone Crusher because the color breakup here. Look at that. You got some silver, you got red, you got the purple, you got nothing but green. It's like here at least you got some color breakup. But anyway, here we have his head sculpt right there. And to be honest about the G1 Constructicons, I actually don't know anything about them, because the one thing that I always remember from them is the fact that they are Devastator, but I don't really know anything else about them. I even forgot that Bone Crusher was a Constructicon at all. But anyway, he's got a nice head sculpt here with the plate. I don't know, it's really flat up there. Then you got the nice chest here as well, looking very nice. You got the nice arms and stuff like that, the wheels at the top. You got the nice silver here for the legs, and then the green here at the bottom of the legs. And then on the back, he basically just has the scoop thing that was actually mistransformed like this in robotic, or like in the box, but you just rotate this bad boy down like so, fold it in, and that will get it into place in that sense, because that is how you're supposed to do it. So yeah, but overall he looks really cool. But that's not all you get, because he comes with a gun, boys. But that's not all technically, but we'll talk about those things later. But anyway, here we have his gun, and again, I don't know why there's holes on either side, but overall it's a nice looking gun. You got a little peg there, and obviously, you know, No, I saw a hole there. I was getting a little bit confused. But anyway, he can hold it in his hand if he wants to. And that is technically what he comes with. However, he has something else with him as well. And that is the big gun, boys. Here we go. We got like technically two more guns that he comes with. But these are supposed to be combined into the big Devastator weapon. Which actually kind of does seem a little bit, I don't know. Let's see here. Nah, it's about as tall as he is, so that's fine. But anyway, here we got the big Devastator gun that he comes with as well. But we're not going to put it on Scrapper, obviously, because this is just for Devastator. But I thought I'd show it off since it is here anyway. But it is a nice looking big gun. So let's get this gun out of here. Get Scrapper back in. But overall, yeah, it's a nice figure. Now then, let's remove this gun so we can get into the little bit of a problematic thing, and that is the fact of his articulation. It's a little bit limited in certain ways. I already showed off the waist, but there's another one as well that I have I've had some problems with. Anyway, his head can do a full rotation if you want to. You also got a bit of up and down, I guess, but that's more the panel there. It doesn't necessarily lock in all that well. Like, it's supposed to lock in, and you can still, like, unlock it in that sense, as you can see right there. So yeah, anyway, then the arms. Now, the arms can go forward, but it's very weird. It feels weird when you move the arm forward, like this one anyway. This one likes to lock itself in, so you basically have to kind of like just move it out of the way, or at least I have to, in order to rotate it forward and all the way around technically, because this one for some reason gets a little bit stuck. Oh wait, you can actually, oh, I didn't notice that. You can actually rotate the arms out. I did not notice that, my apologies. Speaking of which, we got a little wee bit of butterfly joint action. I actually did not notice that, my apologies, people. It's a little bit unprofessional, but to be honest, mistakes are just here to be there. But anyway, yeah, he's got a little bit of butterfly jointing as well. Actually, this articulation just became a lot better now. Anyway, then also you got a bicep rotation, and obviously a bend at the elbow. Nothing at the hand, because it's It looks a bit weird because it's basically just molded in there. I mean, you could technically like fold it in for transformation, but I don't know. With the giant gap here, it kind of looks a little bit weird. Then, like I said, no waist rotation, but you do have a ratchet that is here. Then you got the 4 legs that can go forward about that far because of the sculpting, as you can see in there. It can go backwards, not really that far because of the sculpting once again. Technically, this leg can actually go further a little bit more if you activate the ankle tilt to get it out of the way, and then you can put it back, I guess. But like that only works one way, sadly enough. It does not work both ways, and that is a little bit of a sad thing. Oh no, wait, they can actually go further back. What was blocking you? Oh no, wait, it was here. I'm stupid. It was here. Here it was blocking. So basically you gotta move the leg out of the way, then you can actually do this. So yeah, anyway, rotation here, and then also a bend at the knee. Like so, and then finally you have some ankle tilt as well, because of course you do, and some forward on the feet as well, for like, I don't know, walking poses or something like that, or whatever that pose that is supposed to be. But overall he's got some outside of the waist, nice articulation. So then, after articulation segment, it is obviously time for sass comparisons. So starting off, here he is next to his buddy, Bone Crusher. Yay, and they're about the same height. Now you may be like, how dare you? Because that idiot is a Voyager. Wow, Bone Crusher is not. So these are not the same price, but they are the same height. And they look basically the same as well in that sense. That idiot does not look more complex than that one. However, that idiot comes with Devastator's gun, but also a really powerful ratchet in the chest. And that is why he is a Voyager class price point. The same happens with the other one, which, granted, I don't know which one that is, but there is another Voyager class that's going to obviously be the other leg. And that one also comes with a powerful ratchet, but it is still the same height. So you are paying a little bit more, but you also get a little bit more. For example, big gun. I got big gun. This is a big gun. But together, they actually look very nice. And I will say this, Bone Crusher does kind of look a bit stupid, though. He looks like a fat guy. The fat guy that wants to join in. But overall, these look nice together. So let's get the leaders in outside of Megatron, because I don't have him yet. I don't actually know when that idiot comes out, but I've already seen reviews of him. But I don't have him, so Starscream and Galvatron, here we are with the two of them. Very, very nice looking. I cannot wait for 86 Megatron. I'll say that right now. I cannot wait. So let's get these guys out of here for the last one. So here we have Shockwave and Soundwave to end off. And they look nice with him as well, but these are all the same price point in a sense. I mean, obviously these two come from the Dramatic Capture series, but still they are about the same price point. So yeah, some people might not really feel like this guy is worth it, but complete the set and you will understand that that guy is most certainly worth it. Anyway, let's get these guys out of here and then pull you in a bit closer for that transformation. Alright, so let's get Scrapper transformed. What I'd like to do first is I like to kind of get this big thing out of the way so that we can focus on the rest. And what you want to do is you want to fold in these pieces right here, the hands, fold them in, rotate this backwards, rotate this backwards, and then afterwards what you want to do is the thing that I kind of forgot about, and that is you want to basically shimmy this thing in here, and then this tab is going to slide into that slot. So basically straighten it out like so, and then push it in so that you can tab it into place. And then afterwards there is a tab slot connection up here as well that you want to tab this little piece in here as well. Also, just a little extra thing, you can fold in the head and close it back up. I knew I forgot a step, I just couldn't figure out which one. Anyway, do the same thing on the other side, obviously. Fold that in and then tab this into place right here. After that, what you want to do is you want to fold this piece here forward, take this little thingy here and rotate it backwards like so. But then you got these two big tabs here that are going to slide into those slots right there. So just fold this down and then rotate this bad boy down like so. And we're almost already done. So then what you want to do is you want to get the feet out of the way, because you have to kind of disconnect these two pieces. Also, potentially, maybe it's a good idea to just tab these two together, you know? There you go. But then what you want to do with this, you want to basically rotate this so that it sits flush, like so. And then after that, what you want to do is you want to take the feet in here and fold them flat. There is a tab here that goes to a slot under there. So you basically want to tab this here together, like so. Tab it together, like so. And afterwards, what you want to do is you want to fold this in, and then there's a tab back here that's going to slide into that slot right there. So you basically want to take this and just tab these two pieces pieces together like so. And bam, here we have Scrapper, who sometimes I want to call Scavenger, in his construction vehicular form. So here we have Scrapper in his construction vehicle mode, because I don't know what the construction vehicle is. Also, put that bad boy down. But anyway, here he is, and overall, it's a nice looking one. It is a nice looking one. To be honest, he doesn't necessarily sacrifice anything in here. You know, he looks actually really cool. I mean, yes, there is some of that, like, you know, like a bit gappy in here, you know. But whatever, you can't win them all. I do like the little staircase here on the side. Let's just jump straight into it, okay? We got the big bucket with the big teeth. We got the staircase here on the side, the nice wheels that are pinned, I think. These ones are... yeah, they are pinned, so that's nice. Means it rolls like butter. Absolutely. I don't know what butter rolls, though, but it's the first thing that popped into my head. Because they go with smooth as butter, so I thought rolling like butter, but... I don't really think butter rolls. But outside of that, doesn't really matter. You also got the tiny little cockpit here, meaning that this thing is definitely out of scale with everything, because a human is supposed to sit in there, but then you got a car next to it, and it's just like, Ah, yes, but certain things cannot be in scale because G1 didn't have scale, technically. And Transformers have always done that. What do you call that? When, like RC in Transformers Prime. Like, I forgot what you call that, but that transformation where she becomes way bigger than the bike should ever be able to become. That kind of stuff. Or being able to turn into like a really small thing like Soundwave. That stuff. But anyway, nonetheless, you know, he looks overall pretty good. I like the purple poking through. You can also play with the bucket. You can technically untab it in order to do this. You can't really fold it backwards anymore. That is a little bit of a sad thing. But you can do this, you know. You can just like... That's what you can do with him if you want to. Tab that bad boy back in. I mean, technically with this tabbed in, you can still do this. Ah, it worked. Untabbed it, but I don't care. But still, yay. Anyway, you can still play with it, which means that this guy has fun in it as well. Then, about that weapon store. To be honest, there are no holes anywhere. Outside of at the bottom here, but like... outside of here, there are no holes. However, don't worry about it. This gun can still store because, as you can see, there was that little tab that I talked about in robotic mode. You got that little tabby right there that can just slot into the slot right there. And there you go. You can store the weapon. But like this big bazooka thing, there's not really any storage for it, sadly enough, on the Scavenger anyway. I haven't really seen it because, well, actually, there might be a way. Oh, wait, get out. Because there's that little tab here on the side. Oh, you can. You can store it right there. There you go. You can store it. Okay, there's a little tab here at the bottom. I saw that little tab and I was like, ooh, that means you can store this thing, right? Yes, you can. This one, though, how is this one supposed to go? Well, technically, I guess you're supposed to put that one there. And then also you can kind of put this one like here. There you go. Bam. Weapon storage. We figured it out eventually. It was a little bit confusing for my tiny little brain, but eventually I got to it. Don't worry about it. It's just normally I don't really store vehicles. So while I have played with this thing about, you know, the transformation, I never really did anything with the weapon storage because I didn't really care. But overall, it is a nice figure. So let's move then straight into Seth's comparison. Starting off, here he is with his buddy, the Crusher of Bones, everyone. Man, this is green. This is really green. But these two look nice together. God, I can't wait for the rest of the set, dude. I can't wait to have all of them together. But they look very nice. I have some things to say about the Crusher of Bones in this mode, but we'll save that for his video. So let's get you out of here. And here we have Scrapper with Galvatron and also Starscream. Technically with the leaders, because of the fact that Scrapper himself is also a leader. Because if I remember correctly, wasn't he the leader of like the Constructicons, which I find very weird because he turns into a lake. So that's kind of weird. But outside of that, you know what? Here they are. The leader of the Seekers, the leader of everyone, and the leader of the Constructicons all together like this. Also a little thing for anyone wondering when I am recording this. Today was actually the release date of 3 Days Grace's Alien Nation. So I have finally an album for the end of the year talk. Yay, one album. But don't worry about it. I Prevail has me covered as well in September, I think it was. So I can't wait for that one. Anyway, next up, here we have Kit from Knight Rider, boys. Looking really cool, as always, but also technically next to Scrapper as well. And here we got Soundwave and Shockwave. don't put the guns in there. But anyway, here they are with Scrapper, and once again, just not in scale at all. But don't worry about it, because I don't really care. So let's get them out of here. Let's pull Scrapper in a bit closer, and let's get into that reverse transformation. So who's ready to get good old Scrapper back into his robot mode? So what you want to start off with is you can just untap this, fold it up, just get it out of the way. Untap the arms from in here as well. Untap the feet down here and rotate them around. And afterwards, we're going to go with a little bit of a tricky one. And that is bend this down to get some clearance. And then double hinge this. Oh, no, wait, there's no double hinge. Sorry, I thought it was a double hinge situation. Also, fold out the feet. Fold out the... And then you can tab these two together. As you can see, there's a tab here that goes into that slot right there. So just tab that bad boy in. Fold it down, and there you go. Obviously, split the legs. And there we go. Almost done already. After that, what you want to do is you want to take the arms and rotate them out. Take the fist out like so. Rotate the arm straight, and then fold out the fist, and then rotate this around so that it's obviously sitting to the front. Then after that, you can open this up, pull up the head, close this bad boy back up, and then you can take this and rotate it out slightly so that things don't clash, which is actually something that I missed in the early parts. But then finally you rotate this down, rotate this around, and this thing is just gonna sit like so. And here we have good old Scrapper back in his robotic mode. So then, final thoughts time of Scrapper. Well, there's a little bit of a problem about him being worth it because of the fact that he has difficulties, okay? Look, he has no waist rotation, which people might be upset about, and there might be other problems as well. For a Voyager price, by the way, the fact that this dude is about the size of a deluxe is also a problem. He is the size of a deluxe, he has no waist rotation, so I understand why people would not want it, but the thing is that with the Constructicons, you do not buy them for their individuality. You buy them for the eventual Devastator. However, if you only have money for one, I would not really recommend this guy, but if you're going for Devastator, I highly would recommend it. But out of the two Constructicons that I have, would I recommend this guy? Yes. I think he's a lot better than Bone Crusher, in my opinion anyway. He is a lot more fun to handle. Bone Crusher does some interesting stuff with the transformation, but to be honest, Scrapper is just overall the better figure, because I also think he actually does some interesting stuff with the whole, well, mainly the feet part, with the fact that this goes up here and then this goes down there. I like that. Normally you have it one way or the other. It's just like you slot it around kind of stuff, but here it does both. You get both, and that is very nice. However, the fact that he is a bit smaller and also the fact that he has no waist rotation is something that can actually, you know, deter people from buying it. And about that Voyager class price point, there are other figures in the Voyager class price point that are more worth it. So I would recommend him if you want to go for Devastator. However, outside of that, it's your choice because of the whole waist rotation, lack, and small size. It is your choice whether you want him or not. But that has been my review of Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager class Scrapper. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!